the legend. 105.3, 95.3. WDXE.
I think that's us. Good morning, everybody.
Yeah, we're here.
And we're back. It is the Quik Mart Hour with Keith and Kevin in the house. How are you, boys?
Ooh, I'm excited for the Quik Mart Hour. I'm always excited.
Well, yeah, I am
We was
too.
talking about that earlier.
When I wake up in the mornings and I realize that it's Thursday, I'm like, okay, today'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Today
will be fun.
We always
Speaking
like
of Quik Mart, I was there yesterday afternoon.
Did you see me there?
At the country club one.
Oh, right. That's Quik Mart number 20.
Number 20.
Yeah.
And run into a buddy of mine there. You know, you can run into people there.
Absolutely.
You can.
Yes.
I don't mean like in a bad way.
Oh, okay.
I mean in a good way.
Hey, you can see pretty much the same people there a lot of times.
I do,
you know,
but this one I don't see all the time. I ran into James Gordon Freeze.
Are you serious?
Boy,
What was he doing out there?
Well, he had a big gulp. He's getting him a drink.
As he should.
He was getting him a drink. He's getting him a drink and probably a snack or something. You know, I think that's one of his regular stops.
Okay.
It really is. In fact, me and him eat lunch there one day.
So, does he live out that way? Does he have a house out
Well,
that way?
he lives in Florence,
That's
but,
what I
but he
thought,
still does
Teaching?
music lessons and teaching up here.
Okay.
And I think Wednesdays is one of his days. He's pretty full.
Okay.
So he has a place now. I sold his house, the old house that they used to live in.
Yeah, over near the fairgrounds.
A while back. He had that for years.
Yeah.
And he finally decided to sell. That was his mom and dad's place.
That's right.
All that stuff.
Well,
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, yeah.
People online got to see that.
I know. It just, hey, I had an attack.
That's okay. It happens.
It does. Anyway, this is your show.
So what we might do, since it's the Quik Mart hour, and James Gordon, if you're listening, why don't you go to store number 20 and just take up a booth in the back, and then anybody walks in, you can give guitar lessons to, or whatever,
Well, there you
piano
go.
lessons.
You know, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking is we ought to put the WDXE studio in one of the stores.
we ought to do that for real, and just have people come by.
Just have people come by. We could talk anytime.
Yeah,
that would be fun, actually.
Do you got a bleep button?
You know, we could
7-second
do
delay.
we could do a live day one day there.
I think that'd be a good idea.
We may not have the cameras, but we could do the broadcast.
Yeah,
live there.
absolutely.
Oh, we may have the cameras too, because you
Yeah,
can
well,
do it.
yeah.
Yeah, we got
We gotta
super
figure
high
out-
speed internet at that
And
store.
besides that, you are the technical guru. You should be able to figure that out.
Yeah, I know somebody that can. I sit right next to the guy that can hook it up for
Okay.
us.
Well, there we go.
So.
Not me. No.
No, well, oh, yeah, not today.
I don't have a clue.
I'm talking about at work. I sit right next
That
to
would
the
be
guy.
fun though
Okay.
to do from one of the stores. We'll do a round table and have people come.
Yeah, how more appropriate to have the Quik Mart hour at Quik Mart,
That would be fun.
That'd be pretty cool.
I'm for it.
and do a
Me too.
taste testing while we're there. How about
Ooh,
that?
and now I'm all about that.
See, this is just
Try
getting
your,
better.
try
It's getting
your
better
dried
by
out
the moment.
Chicken livers that you like.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they got chicken livers done that early in the morning.
Oh.
But
But well,
you
for
know
you,
what's-
maybe they can leave them out over.
if they got them left out, I'll take them.
I'll tell you what else is cool is when I do my rewards and I see how much money I'm going to get off my gas.
Yes.
I'm glad that you're using those rewards because they really are rewarding.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
It's just a thing in life. You got to get fuel to get from point A to point B. And why not save some money on fuel? And
Yeah.
you can do that with fuel rewards.
There you go.
And so it's easy to sign up. And if you don't know, if you see me in the store, ask me to sign up for fuel rewards. Remember, if you see me in a Quik Mart and say something about the morning show, you don't even have to say you like it. Just say, hey, I heard you on the morning show. And the Quik Mart hour. And I will buy you a fountain drink or a cup of coffee, whatever you like. And so I still hold true to that. And I was in several Quik Marts yesterday.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, there's a lot of Quik Marts yesterday.
Okay.
So anyway, it was, and day before yesterday. It's almost a daily thing for me. You know why? Because that's where I
I wonder
work.
why.
It's where I work. So anyway, if you haven't gotten up and gone to Quik Mart yet, go get your biscuit, go get a cup of coffee, or wash it down with a sun drop. Those are all good things to do to start your day and get you going. But I want you guys, have you guys heard about this bomb threat they had in Wichita? I guess it's Wichita, Kansas. The Wichita Eagle reports that they had to evacuate a Home Depot because of a bomb threat. And
I did hear a little bit about this.
and it's going to bring us into a conversation that I'm really not comfortable with. So it has to do with the
Well,
restroom.
don't let that stop you.
Yeah, I'm not going.
You being uncomfortable is not going to stop us.
Yeah, it's the. And on top of that, it's the only thing I brought to talk about today.
Well, that sounds great.
So, but in my house, we didn't talk about restrooms, stuff like that. So, did you guys have restroom humor at your house and stuff like that? We didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't. And
Did you
it
not?
was just we didn't talk about that.
Not when I was growing up, but when I got to be old enough to enjoy bathroom humor, I have enjoyed my share.
Oh me. So anyway, let me read you this article in case the folks haven't heard it. This is just every guy out there will get this. Okay, I don't know what goes on in women's restrooms, but I know what goes on in men's restrooms. So every guy out there will get this. Wichita Police Department was called to a Home Depot on Monday afternoon for a reported bomb threat.
Oh, my.
Oh, we just had a customer here make what may have been a bomb threat, a man told 911 dispatcher. He said, somebody told me there was a bomb in here and you need to leave the building. And he said it 3 times. So police responded to Home Depot store and learned that the threat came from someone in the store's restroom. An employee told the responding officers that he was standing at the urinal, which is a good thing to do. An employee told the responding officers he's standing at the urinal when another gentleman came out of the stall and said, somebody told me there's a bomb in the building. You need to leave the building. All right, so we'll talk about that in a minute. But according to the newspaper, store clerk recognized the man because he's a regular customer and gave the man's name to the police. And so officers called the man and he explained to the cops that he had no intention of causing such alarm and that the comment he said was meant to be funny. It turns out the man was also in the washroom at some point or another when another guy came in and says, y'all need to get out of here because I'm fixing to blow this place up. Oh, man.
This he said as he walked in the restroom.
That's exactly right.
Yep.
And if you're a guy, you understand that.
Yep.
So he said, I'm fixing to blow this place up. And a comment that he got the gist of and was he was in serious need to defecate or poop. And was attempting to provide a polite warning to other patrons in the bathroom. So
Polite
Yeah,
warning.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, that's just a manly. I mean, heads up.
Every guy knows what that means,
That's right, hey.
Yeah. So the regular customer told police that he gave the warning to the employee in the washroom, meaning it to be a joke, and said he didn't know that the man's bathroom humor was taken so seriously. So, oh my goodness. So the guy says, I'm fixing to blow the bathroom up, and they took it as a bomb threat and evacuated the store. So,
I like your last one. There says, perhaps next time a courtesy flush
yeah,
will suffice.
perhaps a courtesy flush will suffice. So,
Hey, man.
I actually
have you ever heard
actually
that
saw
in
the
bathroom?
video. I actually saw the video clip of the news anchor telling that story.
Oh, my goodness.
The lady news anchor?
The lady news
So it's
anchor.
actually made the news.
Yeah, it
Oh,
made
it- our
the news.
Yeah,
TV
it
news.
actually made the TV news and the lady news anchor. And I kind of wondered, and I don't know, but I wondered if it was an absolute hoax all along that they pulled on this news anchor.
It might have been, but I was in this came from the Wichita Eagle, which is a newspaper there.
Yeah, okay.
So it's also in the newspaper.
Oh, it was in the newspaper.
Yeah. So,
Well, maybe it did happen.
Oh, was it like this lady's first on out assignment or something? And
Well,
they sent her out. To
it was like an epiphany. She started
Right.
reading it. She goes, "Oh, I just got it." And she just breaks out into laughter.
Oh, I just got it. Yeah. Oh my God! And then her sidekick over there couldn't quit laughing.
Exactly.
Yeah, he was like,
he knew it the whole time.
yeah, he was like, oh my gosh,
Oh
he
my
couldn't do the
goodness.
news anymore.
Oh, man.
So this brings us up to some men's restroom etiquette and some questions, I guess. And we've got a whole page of them. When I started doing some research on this, I thought, well, I probably know a few questions to ask about men's restrooms that go unsaid. All right, so there's these things are a list of things that pretty much go unsaid in the men's restroom, but we all do it or take advantage of it or whatever.
You know,
the
you
case
have
may be.
really lifted the standard of broadcasting here.
I have. But we're taking
right.
it straight to the drain.
Okay.
So I have listed these questions pretty much in the order of walking in the door, doing your business, and walking out the door. Okay, if that
So
makes
this
sense.
is what you said, proper men's bathroom etiquette. Is that what you're saying?
Well, it sort of brings into question proper men's restroom etiquette, if that makes sense. All right, so if you haven't got your cup of coffee yet, go and grab you a cup of coffee and sit down because we're going to talk about men's restroom etiquette. Ladies,
ready.
suffer us through this for a minute.
Somebody wants to call in and comment on it.
Yeah, maybe we have some people out there
may
with some
have
good advice.
Yeah, if you got good men's restroom advice, give us a call.
The phone number is 766-9393.
All right, so this is something that I do, and I don't know if you guys do it, but so I put this question: when you walk in the restroom, what do you do first? What do you do first when you walk in the restroom? I scope the place out. I don't know if, no matter how big or how little the restroom is, and I look for certain things. So, what do you guys look for anything when you walk into the restroom at all?
Other people in there.
Well, yeah, other people would be.
Are you talking about a public restroom?
Yeah, public restroom. Okay, yeah, I should say this. This is public restroom.
Public restrooms.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll have to say up front, if I can hold it, I hold it. I don't go to public restrooms much.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
Wait. For an A&P?
Well, maybe that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Because I understand that you got a number 2 or whatever. Because the first thing you got to do, you got to find make sure you got toilet paper and stuff in there. So.
Yeah, that's the first thing I look at is
Yeah.
if there's toilet paper. If there's one thing I do on purpose every time is I always flush the toilet first.
That's probably smart.
Yeah, because if the toilet don't flush, I don't use it. So, and you know where I learned that? This came 20 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dumb and Dumber?
No, it was Dumb and Dumber. I was the Dumb and Dumber there when it took place. But I try to. I don't like using other folks' restroom facilities. Okay, so 20 years ago, I was at my in-laws' house for Christmas.
Hey, Christmas. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm still in that phase where you don't know if your in-laws like you or not. And I'm still of course my in-laws did. They love me to death, but
Yeah, that's what they do.
But you're in that phase.
It might have took a while.
After this bathroom story, they may.
But I'm still in the phase. I want to make a good impression on my in-laws.
Sure.
Amy and I are newly married.
So you left an impression, all right.
So it's everybody's in the living room and gathered around the Christmas tree, and I walk out there and have to ask for a plunger. Oh me! So from that point forward, I have always seen if the toilet will flush before I go in there.
Did they get you a plunger for Christmas?
They did get a plunger. No, they got me a plunger from the basement, and it worked.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's.
So you always make sure there's a plunger there? Oh, no, you said you make sure it flushes. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I could have walked in stark naked the next year and it would have been less humiliating,
That is a humiliating. That's a humiliating thing to have to do is ask for the plunger.
Yeah, exactly. Which means I've already dug through every cabinet in the bathroom looking for that. There's no hangers in the
closet.
There's no hangers in the closet or anything like that, So, because let me tell you, I would have engineered my way out of that had I had anything in that bathroom that would have worked. The towel rack was even screwed to the wall. But anyway, so the first thing, I do a couple things first. I walk, not that I take time in doing it. It's something that instantly happens, but I make sure that there's toilet tissue.
Yeah.
I make sure the doors lock on the stall. Make sure there's a lockable door on the stall, and I make sure that the toilet flushes.
Yeah.
And so those are a few things that I do.
Okay. All right.
So you guys don't have anything that you guys do, or y'all do the same
Well,
thing?
when I used to travel a lot,
Yeah.
and when you travel a lot, you don't have a choice maybe but to use a public restroom.
That's right.
But I strategically had places that I would go and places I would not go. And
Exactly.
consistently, a Cracker Barrel was a good place to go.
It is.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you now, the king of the road is the Buc-ee's.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. Have you been to Buc-ee's
Yes.
restroom? So
Yeah.
have you had them?
But there's not that many.
But they're strategically putting them down the highway that when you go, then they time it to the next time.
Yeah, well, you may be right, but I'm talking about. I didn't travel that far. I'm talking about in a kind of a regional area here, whatever.
Yeah.
There was always a Cracker Barrel within reach.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there you go.
I'm telling you, this is all right. So the next question is: are you a stall stalker? Are you a stall stalker? That's
Are you
hard to say.
picky about the stall you get? That's what your question is.
Yeah, absolutely. So, are you picky about your
Yeah.
stall? So
Yeah.
how are you picky? I want to see if you're picky the same way I am.
Oh, well,
So I'll just tell you how I am. I don't get the first stall. I'll go to the very back stall if they got a very back stall.
see, everybody always goes to the back stall, though.
Yeah, I know it, but
That's usually the stall's got the pooping handles on the side, right?
Well, I guess that's another deal. Is that most of the time that's the handicap
Yeah,
stall.
right.
So do you have any problem using a handicap stall?
No.
I don't either. 'Cause
I mean, you got more room in there. You can stretch out.
right.
You're right. This is an uncomfortable conversation.
I'm telling you, it's as uncomfortable as it gets, but we got to get it out of the way.
Why do we have to do this?
because when we get this out of the way, we've got some questions, and we're going to have some winners today on our show.
But yeah, I mean, again, it goes to I want to be clean. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want one that somebody gets peed all over and stuff.
That's right.
You know, if you got to go
That's
number
right.
2. I hate cleaning up somebody else's.
Jeff is very uncomfortable, and we all love this.
I'm sorry.
All right,
That's probably one that pees on them.
so do you raise the lid? I was talking about that. Do you raise the lid in a public restroom?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I do too.
With a foot.
Yes.
Absolutely. With your foot. I'm
With
glad
your
you
foot,
said that
yes.
because we're going to be
With your
talking
foot.
about
With
that.
Yeah, with your foot.
yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What about, we talked about it in the last article, the courtesy flush.
Yes.
do you do the courtesy
I do a
flush?
courtesy flush.
Jeff, you're not answering. You're not participating.
This is your show.
Listen, I'm the one that's most embarrassed about these questions. And so, well, I'm asking y'all the questions. You just got to answer.
Well, sometimes it's necessary.
It is necessary.
Yeah. Hey, you don't get too much buildup and stop it up.
That's right. So
you got to do a little courtesy flush.
The next question is, do you flush to mask the noise?
Oh yes.
All right, so
As you know.
I've got the 45% on the wrong line there. So when I was doing my research on this, the reason I asked this question is that 45% of the people surveyed said they don't use the public restroom because they don't want anybody else to hear them.
Oh really?
Yeah. So therefore, the mask flush is
Yes.
what we call it, the mask
Yes.
flush.
Yeah.
And most guys do the mask flush. And so, but here's the next thing: do you flush with your foot? Do you flush the toilet with your foot?
If you're doing a mask flush, it's kind of hard to do it with your foot.
It is hard to do with your foot when you've got to be
That's
very
not possible.
But I have been in some pretty rough looking restrooms.
You do it with your elbow when you do you know. Oh me!
And what if it's one of those automatic ones? What do you do?
Listen, I
You
really
put your
like-
hand over it and
You push the button on automatic.
Oh.
Most time they have a button to push.
Okay.
So, and that's another thing you need to check out before you sit down. If you got the infrared thing, it looks like a remote control.
Yeah.
Or it looks like a camera facing you. You know, is what it looks like.
Look at the camera. There's a camera on the toilet.
It's got to know if you're there or not. So, anyway, most people flush with their foot. Listen,
Yeah.
the 90+% of men flush with their foot.
Yeah.
And I don't listen. I do mine too because you know why? Because the person before me probably flushed with their foot.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be touching anything that was on the floor there. So. The other thing, and here's something that you really don't think about, but it's something that we do subconsciously. Are you gap conscious? Are you conscious of the gap in the stalls?
Yes.
So it's something I didn't think about, but when I saw that, I thought, you know what? I am gap conscious. Because those stalls, did you know that they're designed to have those gaps? But some of the gaps are bigger and some of them are
places
smaller.
got great big old
Yeah, I mean, some of them you might as well have the door open, you know.
Come on in.
That's why I don't like the first stall or the stall right in front of where people's washing
Well,
their
yeah,
hands. 'Cause they
I
gotta-
thought about that because everybody comes by, they're going
Yeah, they're
look
the
at
first
the-
one
yeah.
they look at. They're looking through the gap. So I'm pretty gap conscious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeff, you got to say more
I
than
don't,
yeah.
I don't like
yeah.
the gap.
You don't like the gap.
Nobody likes the gap.
What you can do is you can wear a coat into the bathroom and hang it over the gap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
that works.
what's one thing you can do.
Well,
All right, so here's some.
Plan your life. Plan your life around going to the public toilet.
Yeah, absolutely. But let me ask you: Are you a stall hog? Are you a
stall hog?
Yeah, a stall hog. Do you use your cell phone or play games in the stall? So
Heck no, get out of there as quick as I can.
Okay, so you said that, Jeff. Look at this. The statistics say that the average amount of time to go to the restroom, and I don't know who done this, is 12 seconds. All right.
What?
12 seconds. They coming in a hurry, clinching.
Yeah,
wasn't they?
they're ready. I mean,
That was crowning.
that's horrible.
Somebody's going to enjoy this humor with us.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
12 seconds.
We may have to move on.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Very well. I'm on air.
Yes, you are.
All right. Tell the mayor he needs to get him a porta potty porta potty and take with him, and he wouldn't have to have all that trouble.
Hey, that's a good idea.
That's a real good idea.
That's a great idea.
Hey, yeah, take a porta potty with you, your own toilet.
Exactly. But the stuff that I read said that 12 seconds was the average time to use the restroom, and it also said, but if you're in there for 10 minutes, you're a stall hog.
Well, yeah.
So, anyway.
Or you ate a lot of cheese, one of the other.
Yeah, so guys will know this. When you walk into a guy's restroom, there's different heights of urinals. Some of them are low to the ground, some are high to the ground. Do you ever find yourself using the low urinal?
Yes.
It's tough, right?
Yeah, it's tough.
It's tough to use.
Well, just as funny as the little kid trying to use the high one.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
on his tippy toe.
Yeah.
All right, so do you use soap when you're washing your hands, or you just use water?
So,
Yeah, if there's
soap
soap
there.
available, yes.
All right. Did you know that only 5% of the people that go into the restroom wash their hands? Period. That's 95% of people walk out without washing their hands. Have you ever been in the bathroom and saw somebody just
Yes.
walk out? Absolutely, that happens every
happens
time.
all the time.
And they go
yeah.
back to the kitchen, they start cooking your food.
Well, and they go, yeah.
There was a Seinfeld. There was a Seinfeld episode with that on it.
Really?
Yes.
Hey, talking about episodes, let me diverge for just a minute. I got the Andy Griffith channel at my house, but I saw an Andy Griffith that I don't think I remember ever seeing, and it was the name of the episode was Barney mends a broken heart or something like that. And in the episode, I thought that Barney and them were sitting at a table with and Andy were sitting at the table with the Siler City girls, and one of them I believe was Daphne. But anyway, Andy ends up getting a black eye out of the deal. I've never seen the one
Yeah.
where Andy got a black eye.
Yeah.
All right. I think her ex-boyfriend came in and was jealous or something like
Yep.
that.
Something like that. Yep.
So I'd never seen that episode. And I was half asleep and half awake, and I didn't see it then, but I saw that part. So anyway, I digress. So anyway, so very few people even wash their hands, and that's disgusting. So
Here's a text message from my buddy Randy.
okay.
People look at me really funny whenever I'm wearing my coat in July to the public restroom so I can cover the gap.
He's the gap cover. I told you. That's exactly
You've seen
right.
him, huh?
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, that's you can
Take your spare, take a duct tape with you.
You know, if you're like me, I've got an undershirt on. I can just take my outer shirt
Oh
off.
Lordy help!
You know, and then I got to button back up and tuck in. So, do you have an order? I'm a hand washer. I wash my hands every time I go in the restroom, but I have an order of hand washing. Do you guys have an order of hand washing?
Order of hand washing.
Yeah. So if there's paper towels available, I will get a few paper towels first.
Yeah.
And then I will use a paper towel to turn the sink on.
Yeah.
And then I'll wash my hands, and I'll use a paper towel to turn the sink off.
Yeah.
And then I'll get me some more paper towels and dry my hands off, and then I'll open the door with a paper towel and then toss it into the garbage.
I'm really frustrated when there's not paper towels to blow.
It's just
to
the
dry.
air blower things.
Yeah,
you
I
know.
don't like that.
Do you guys? So there's some controversy over this that's just recently on those air dryers, but I like the Dyson. I like those.
Oh, they're all right, but you still don't have a towel.
No, you don't have a towel. You got to grab the door handle.
That's why I carry with me my handy dandy roll of paper towels.
That's you need it.
So
you got to have it.
And this doubles as paper towels or spare toilet paper.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So in your truck, do you carry a roll of paper towels in your truck?
Keeps it in the pocket of
So
his
I
overcoat.
carry both. I carry
There's
toilet paper
under
and
the
paper
back
towel.
seat of my truck. I have a little toolbox and a little box with handy dandy tools, tie downs, gloves, all those kind of things. A machete.
Yeah, things you may need.
Things you may need.
Exactly.
In a
We
public
may
restroom.
get a truck package going here. All right. So the other one. All right. So this is maybe not. This is. Do you leave the fan on or you turn it off whenever you leave?
The public restroom.
There's on, ain't they?
Well, you get some you can turn off.
I leave mine
maybe
on.
like in an office setting or something.
Well,
like
hey,
that.
if I blowed it up, I'm gonna leave it on.
Yeah,
The next
leave it
guy,
on.
I
There
don't-
you go. All right, so here's one of the things, the last thing we're going to talk about. We'll get off the restroom.
Well, I got to tell a story, but go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, tell a story.
Well, and this is not my story.
Uh-oh.
You changed your
Hey,
name.
good morning. You're on WDXE with us.
Yeah, about those Dyson fans.
Yes.
Yeah.
People don't wash their hands properly,
and that thing just blows germs all over the place.
Yeah, you're exactly right about
I used to
that.
try to get out of there if somebody's going to use one of those. I usually carry a bottle of hand wash in my hand or sanitizer.
Yeah, that's a
That's
good
the
idea.
best thing to use.
That's a
Just get
great
your
idea.
bottle of a small bottle of that sanitizer and carry it in your pocket.
Yeah, yeah.
And get the heck out of there if anybody's using that blower.
I like your thinking.
Me too.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, man.
You know what? What about the old hand towel that you used to yank and it would just roll around?
Roll down.
Yes.
I don't know if after a while you got somebody, after about 100 yanks or something, you got somebody else's. I don't know. Or
That
did
used to be the way it was all done.
Yeah.
Just about. Yeah.
Was there somebody inside that little box washing that thing as it was going by or something? Or, I don't know.
Yeah, it went behind the wall.
Y'all probably heard this story about the guy that goes into the stall to do his business, and there's somebody else in a neighboring stall when
Yeah.
he sits down. And as he gets in position, the guy in the neighboring stall says, "Hey, how you doing?" And he says, "Well, I'm doing all right. How you doing?" "Yeah, I'm doing good. Blah 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 blah. What you gonna do today?" And he starts saying, "Well, I think we're gonna go shopping or this and that." And the guy says, "Hey, wait a minute. Some idiot in the stall thinks I'm talking to him.
He's on the cell phone.
He's on his phone."
So he's being a stall hog. Exactly right. I talk to all stall hogs. But
So anyway,
you're a pretty congenial guy, and so are you, Kevin. And in a day's time, how many people's hands do you shake?
a lot.
A lot. I do too. I shake a lot of people's hands during the day.
Yeah.
I'm still old fashioned. I like to shake people's hands. But it's that's never expected in the bathroom. So one of the things you don't do in a bathroom is shake people's hands.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'd never thought about that till I
don't think I've ever
this research.
shook hands in the bathroom.
Have you ever?
Yes, I have. As a matter of fact, yes, I have. And let
Really?
me tell you who it was.
Okay.
Governor Bill Lee.
Yeah, you shake the governor's hand wherever you get an opportunity.
Yeah. Now, we both waited on each other to wash our hands.
So was he governor when he done that? You used to work for the governor,
I
right?
used to work for him, and it was at Lee Company. It was before he was governor.
Okay.
But it was one of my first days there. I hadn't even met him yet. But I knew it was him. We were in the bathroom together.
Yeah.
And he was finishing up, and I was finishing up. And so when we finished up, I introduced myself, and I said, "I just went to work for your company." And we both, got through with there and shook hands and took off.
Okay, well, that's okay if you both wash your hands.
Yeah.
But it's one of those places where you're not expected to shake somebody's hand.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Y'all should have just did an air high five or something like that.
maybe
I
guess.
don't know.
Bump knucks or whatever. Yeah.
The governor came to shake my hand.
In the bathroom of all places.
Bless his
Oh,
heart.
my goodness.
I'm quoting Andy Griffith in case you don't know.
Exactly. That's exactly right. I remember that.
Bless his heart.
Okay, so we're going to play a game, and we need a couple callers.
We
Jeff-
need a caller to play the game.
So I have to say something. Last week during the trivia that was going on, I accidentally texted Kevin some answers.
Yes,
Accidentally.
I know you did.
Yeah,
I'll forgive you.
I meant to just text him the questions, but it was the answers. So,
I'll forgive you.
so whoever this is gets to pick who wants to play.
All right, so we got somebody. Hey, are you going to play with us?
Yes.
All right, who do you want to play for you? Kevin or
Kevin.
All right, that's what I thought. and this is
We do have an astute
Tommy
audience.
Davis.
Tommy. Okay, I thought it was you, Tommy. Okay, Kevin, you playing for Tommy Davis.
All right.
Are you writing that down? Because I don't.
I am Tommy Davis. I got you.
I got
All
you.
right, and we got another player coming right here. And guess what? You're stuck with me. What's your name?
My name's Vicki Garner.
Vicky Garner.
All
All right.
right.
So I get to play for you, Vicky.
Oh, should I be happy about that?
You should be. Yes. Yes. You should be elated. You should be elated. Yes. So now, what are we going to win?
Okay, so we're going to win a $25 gift card to Quik Mart.
Ah, okay.
How
well,
about
that's fine.
that?
Well, stay tuned and you be listening, okay?
I will.
All right,
All right.
so
So I'm
look-
playing for Vicky Garner and you're playing for Tommy Davis.
All right,
All right.
we've got a very astute audience, and they know not to pick Jeff but today, we have to say today, I did not accidentally.
I didn't
did I
get
text
no-
you anything
no.
this
So
morning?
is
Kev?
this,
did
are
not.
you telling me that this is going to be fair and square?
This is fair and
legit.
square.
Okay.
It's legit.
I can't believe it.
So what I have here is I have some 70s and 80s TV characters.
Yes.
That we know them by their character name, but also do we know their real names? Do we know what their real life name was? And so what I'm going to do is you guys are going to do it the old fifth grade style. You take a line and you match it up to who they played. Okay, so
y'all go ahead and be doing that.
Y'all go ahead and be doing that, and I'll announce who it is. So in the real name list, I have Larry Hagman, Gavin McLeod, Bob Denver, Fred Gwynn, Sorrel Book. That may be Book. John Austin, Danny DeVito, Carol O'Connor, Robert Reed, and Sebastian Cabot. Those are the real names of the actors. Now, the characters that they played were Archie Bunker, Herman Munster, Mike Brady, Mr. French, Louis De Palma, Boss Hogg, Captain Merrill Stubing, J.R. Ewing, Gilligan, and Gomez Adams. So those are the characters. So you got to match the real names with the character names, and whoever gets the most wins the prize. And I thought, well, this ought to be easy enough because these are shows that we've all watched growing up and are familiar with. But be honest with you, I only knew about 3 or 4 of the names. And so, I'll go through the real names again. Larry Hagman, Gavin McLeod, that's going to be a tough one, guys. Bob Denver ought to be easy. Fred Gwynn ought to be easy. Sorrel Book is going to be a little tough. John Austin is tough. Danny DeVito ought to be easy. Carol O'Connor ought to be the easiest one on the list. Robert Reed should be easy. And Sebastian Cabot is sort of hard. So are you guys getting close?
I'm getting close.
Yeah.
I'm done, but I've done such a horrible job of drawing lines.
Actually,
we'll write the name beside them.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to grade your paper if that was a fifth grade paper. Do you remember doing these in school, though? Draw the line to what it... exactly.
All right.
All right. So Kevin's done.
He's done?
I'm done.
Yeah, so do you need a few more
I'm
minutes?
going to be guessing on some of them.
Okay, that's fine. That's that.
You want me to help you with them?
All right, so we'll just start. We'll start. Tell me when you're ready, Jeff, and we'll
go ahead.
All right, so very first one, Larry Hagman. All right, so who did you have for Larry Hagman? Jeff, you go.
I'm guessing on him. He is Herman Munster.
Okay, Larry Hagman is not Herman Munster. Okay, so that's
Larry Hagman, Jr.
He's J.R.
Who
Ewing.
shot Jr.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I knew that.
Okay, so Kevin got that one. Okay.
I didn't see that one down there.
All right. All right, so the next person on the list is Gavin McLeod. Kevin, who'd you have for Gavin McLeod?
It's actually Gavin McLeod.
Is that how it's pronounced?
Yeah.
McLeod?
McLeod.
See, I learned something today.
Every Sunday it comes on Me TV.
Oh, it does?
Mm-hmm.
Comes on the Love Boat. So who is he? He is Captain Merrill Stubing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jeff, did you get that one?
I did.
Okay, so both of y'all got that. All right, Jeff, Bob Denver. Who you have for Bob Denver?
He's Gilligan.
He is Gilligan.
Yep.
You got that right.
Gilligan's
Kevin, did you
out.
get that also?
I got that one, yeah.
All right.
Gilligan Eyes.
All right, Kevin, who'd you get for Fred Gwynn?
Herman Munster.
Fred Gwynn is Herman Munster,
Yeah,
yes.
he's Herman Munster.
Yeah.
So did
And
you
he's
get
also
that,
on Car
Jeff?
54.
Well, actually, I can't say that I got it. I would have got it, but I didn't get there yet.
Oh, you didn't get there yet? Well, I'll give it to you.
Oh, and the next one, everybody's got to know that one.
Sorrel Book. Jeff, who'd you get for Sorrel Book?
I don't know.
Sorrel
come
Book
on now.
is, Kevin, you want to tell him?
Dukes of Hazzard. Boss Hogg.
Yeah, Sorrel
that
Book
Boss
is
Hogg?
Boss
Yeah,
Hogg, yeah.
that was his.
I never did know
That was
his
his
name.
real. That was his real name, Sorrel.
Okay. All right.
Yep. Okay, here's another. I had 2 or 3 tough ones in there, and
Yeah,
Sorrel Book was
I-
one of them. I didn't know if you guys would know that or not.
I had 2. I kind of had to eliminate everybody else.
All right, John Austin. Kevin, who'd you get for John Austin?
I put Gomez.
John Austin is Gomez
Is it?
Adams.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he Gomez?
Yep.
Okay.
So, all right. Jeff, Danny DeVito. Who'd you get for Danny DeVito?
Well, Danny DeVito is in Taxi. He was
yeah.
Louis De Palma.
He was Louis De Palma.
He was the
Dispatcher, right?
Yeah,
That
dispatcher.
I didn't know. And I know the next one, too.
Yeah, everybody knows that one. Oh, Archie.
Carol O'Connor. He was Archie Bunker, right?
Archie Bunker.
All right, all in the family.
Archie
Bunker.
Bunker.
So both of you guys got that. Robert Reed. There's a little tough one.
That's Mike Brady.
Right, Mark. That's you're exactly right. Did you get that one,
yeah,
Kevin?
I got that
All
one.
right,
Mike
so
Brady,
Robert
the
Reed
Brady
is Mike Brady, the dad in the Brady Bunch. Okay, and the last one, Sebastian Cabot.
This one was a guess for me.
Mr. French.
Yeah.
I knew that.
That
one.
is Mr. French.
I knew that. one.
I eliminated everybody else and guessed that he had to be Mr. French.
All right, so did
Mr.
you
French.
get that one, Kevin?
And
got that.
you know, they told the names on that show. Here's the reason I missed the ones I missed. I'm an audible learner.
Yeah.
And when they said the names, I remember them saying it. And they used to say it when that show would come on.
Yeah.
Sebastian Cabot. They would say it audibly.
That's right.
Oh, so they like
Yeah.
Mr. French, played by Sebastian Cabot.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Andy Griffith does the same thing.
Yeah, Andy Griffith did that.
They do.
They did a lot of that.
They do Andy, Opie, and
And
Barney.
so a lot of those I knew because I'd heard it. And I didn't waste time reading the credits,
Well, I don't blame you.
you know?
So anyway, Kevin won this round, out and out, straight up.
I promise you.
So
Now,
Yeah.
this is stuff that I know, though. I mean,
Yeah,
I may not know the world's smallest countries and stuff,
but we know that Vicky,
but I know TV stuff.
had Vicky called first, she would have picked Kevin.
She would have picked Kevin, yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to award both Tommy and Vicky the prize. Okay, is that okay to do that?
Yeah, sure it is.
Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to give both Tommy and Vicky
So
a prize.
they have a $25. Did you bring them with you?
I did. Listen, I don't have them with me. I've got to run and get them. So,
We're going to have to get you prepared.
well, I mean, you don't have to be up here right this second to get
No.
it. You know,
No,
take some time.
They may wanna be.
So, Tommy, if you're listening, Vicky, if you're listening, give me about an hour to get back up here with them and
Yeah, so they'll
put
be
your
at
name
the-
on
they'll
them.
be at the studio
They'll be at the front
offices
desk. Yeah, absolutely.
with your name on them, okay?
All right, so we're moving on, and this is the Quik Mart Hour. If you haven't been out and about this morning, after our show is over, feel free to go out and about and go down to the Quik Mart store. They got plenty of hot biscuits still left, and get
That's right.
Get the Ex-Mayor Special. I'm telling you, it's really good. And what is that? It's tenderloin and egg with pepper jack cheese. Unbelievable biscuit. And if you like hot stuff, you may want to put a little bit of hot
Yeah.
pepper on it or something.
I like the plan.
I like the plan. Jeff, will you give me one of those paper towels over there that you keep in the back of your truck? So
How about that?
I just need one, but I want to talk to you guys about something that's becoming more prevalent each and every day, and I have run into this even this week probably 3 times. Now, do you guys eat out a lot? Do you eat out pretty often?
Sometimes.
No, I do. I eat out pretty much every day. So, at least one meal. When I say eat out, I'm not at home eating. So I consider not eating at home eating out. So lunch is. I rarely take my lunch to work, but I do sometimes. And lunch is probably my biggest time to eat out somewhere.
Okay. Okay.
But I do pick up breakfast now and then at
Yeah.
Quik Mart. I like to go on Quik Mart, get them biscuits and
Sure.
stuff like that. So, but I have been in several places even this past week who asked for a tip. Mm-hmm. And I didn't sit down and get served. I walked in, picked up my stuff, and walked out, but they asked for a tip. And I'll give you an example. I was at Moe's in Spring Hill this week.
Yeah, I know where that is.
Yeah, I was working at Spring Hills in Spring Hill this week, and go to Moe's for lunch. And they're just
Welcome to Moe's.
welcome to Moe's. Everybody, they say,
Scared to death.
yeah, say, welcome.
Okay.
Start screaming at you.
They do that at Waffle House too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Welcome to Waffle House.
One of my favorite places, by the way.
Oh, listen, I can go there right now.
Yeah.
I love it. But anyway, what is? Do you guys tip a lot? I mean, do you feel guilty not tipping in those situations? I mean, this may be stuff that people want to call in on, because here's my thought. Tipping was not invented, but tipping was to help out the folks that didn't make at least the minimum wage.
Right.
Yes.
Because restaurants, if you are in a tippable position, they can pay you very low wages, and your tips are to make up the difference.
Right.
Yes.
And so what I didn't know was that if your tips didn't make up the difference, the company you work for has to make up the difference. So at least you have to make at least minimum wage. I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
So, but they have to do that.
And I started out, my first real job was working for Shoney's, and them girls, man, they was mostly girls, like $2 and something an hour, and
Yeah.
they made up the difference, in the tips. Of course, they made a lot more in tips if he was a good server.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is
Service.
today, but is it
I don't know
much
what it
different
is.
today?
I don't know.
I don't know. If it's, maybe we got somebody that waits tables to let us know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
But who gets the tip when there's no
Right.
when there's no
What is the
serving?
deal?
Yeah. But listen, I'm a tipper, and it almost embarrasses me not to tip.
Well, it does me too. But
makes
there's
you-
a
when
couple
they-
different. But when you're getting like a fast food go order,
Yeah.
or something like that, I don't think you should be guilted into tipping. When they've built it in for you up there,
Right.
they've built it in.
Yeah,
you gotta
conveniently
choose.
when they flip the screen
I mean,
over and you
you're
sign
paying
or
with a
whatever.
card anyway, and you're getting it to go, and there's been no real serving other than just handing you a sack. I don't.
So do you tip during in those times?
I have done it both ways.
Yeah.
I've done it both ways.
Sometimes I get guilted into it.
So that's part of the thing that we were talking about
I've done
today.
it both ways, and I guess it's whenever the mood hits you. But I've had some people tell me that they're flat not going to be guilted into doing that.
So I have to say that there is.
Just don't. They just skip it and go.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I do have to say on the screen it was a place for no tip.
Yeah.
But when the lady
they're sitting there
says she turns the screen around towards you and said, "Okay, just fill out your tip and then hit next." What do you do? I mean, that's pretty good. And here's what I would prefer is that in situations like that you tip the cook. That the cook gets the money. And I've been in situations where I would rather have tipped the cook than the person serving.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have ever been in that kind of situation.
Yeah. Well, I've been in all kinds of them.
You get bad service every once in a while. Everybody has an off day.
Yeah, everybody does have an off day. And listen, I tip regardless, but I tip accordingly. I think.
Yeah. Hey,
So I never tip less than 10%. So if I get the world's worst service, I'll give 10%.
that's what I want to know. Who's come up with all these different percentages? Because it used to be, growing up, it was 10%.
Yeah, now it's 20. Somebody now the
20, 30%.
And
I've seen on
listen,
some of the bills.
The way that eating out prices have skyrocketed.
Yes.
That's right.
It's quite a bit. Back in the day, a buck or two was plenty of tip.
Hey, listen, you're exactly right.
And now it's not. It's a whole different ballgame.
So you bring up a good point there. So I was at Moe's, and I was there with two coworkers, and I paid for their lunch. Well, lunch for three folks at Moe's was like $50.
Yeah.
Well, when you turn the tip around, the 10% is $10. Or is $5,
$5.
and the 20% is $10. Well, I usually do 20%, and I'm like, wow, dude, that's
That's a lot.
$10 extra is a lot of money. So I did the 10%, but still $5 for.
I'm like you. Where does that go? I mean, is that split between? Because Moe's
I don't know what
is
they
a
do
bunch
with
of different people making your food. It's not just one person. I mean,
Well, what about when they ask you if you want to round up?
It depends. And a lot of places do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a rule of thumb on that, and it is, what do you do with the money that I give?
Yeah.
All right. So if you're just going to be a collection point, I can donate to a charity.
Yeah.
But if you're going to add to it or double it or whatever, then I'm all in.
Yeah, but here's the thing, and I don't mean this to be ugly at all, and I know there's some great charities that are helped by this, but I don't want to do all the calculation trying to figure all that out. I want to get what I'm getting at. I want to pay for what I'm getting and move on because I'm usually in a hurry, when I'm doing that. And I don't want to try to figure out who they're doing what they're doing it with. I'm just like, I'll give to what I want to give to.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But here, on the other hand, though, I was asked this past week, do you want to round up? My answer is absolutely. You get to go to the window. They didn't round it up. I mean, I guess they're so used to people saying no that they just, I don't know. But
Really?
that's happened to me twice.
Say that again now. You lost me.
he told him to round
So
up.
I told them, I said, sure, absolutely, round it up. And get to the window and they don't round it up.
And they don't.
That's right.
I forgot.
It's happened twice to me.
Really?
Absolutely.
You must have that kind of face, huh?
No, I think people are just used to
I
kind
try
of
to
saying no.
I try to floor it before they ask me.
All right, so
I'm just kidding.
So we've been talking about drive-through etiquette, all right, or bathroom etiquette. Let's talk about drive-through etiquette. Floor it is not a good drive-through etiquette thing.
Yeah, you just hit that guy and push him on through.
But let's talk about our neighbors next door, okay?
Our neighbors next door.
Yeah, so I go through McDonald's every once in a while. And the McDonald's does not have a double drive-through line, okay? The line that's there is waiting to split off into the outer line or the inner line.
Is that what you think?
Yeah, because it just aggravates me to death that the person in front of me is waiting to get on the inner line and people are pulling in the parking lot. I've been there for 10 minutes, and people are pulling in the parking lot going around the person in front of me to get in the outer line.
All right.
And that's where I wanted to
That's
go.
what I thought. But one day I pulled in there, and there's McDonald's people out there telling me, you go that
Oh,
second
I didn't
line.
know that.
You go.
Well,
You go.
then how do the people that are parked there get in and out? If that's,
I don't know.
That's.
I don't know. But hey, I'm just telling you what.
I'm just telling you by the markings on the parking
Well,
lot. It's
I
not a
understand.
double
Well,
line.
they took down the little run over things, so they took
Okay.
them down. So
All right,
I don't
so-
know. I was like you. That's what I thought. I'd get mad, and then one day I pulled in there, and they're like, "No, you going up there to the next line."
Well, here's the thing. I think you're somewhat both right. And,
Yeah.
and and you're right. There's been times I think they're not there out there every day.
no,
Jeff,
no,
can you say that I'm more right?
But there's been times when there's enough of a crowd that they've double lined it.
Yeah, it may have been backing up in the road, and they're trying to get people in.
But
that
I
may
have
be
been
the reason.
I've been
I don't
in
know.
there in line when there's like maybe 3 or 4 cars.
Yeah.
Okay, 3 or 4 cars, and you can see ahead that the car that's waiting to go in is going to go in the inner line.
That's right.
Okay, and there's absolutely nobody in the outer line. So I pulled out and went around everybody.
Oh man, people are really giving you down the road, bro.
Well,
Good.
but
Because they're probably the same people who pull up there, and you're supposed to go, it's kind of like a zipper. You're supposed to merge on the other side.
Yeah.
And that one person will jump up there and get in front of you and won't let you in.
and I'm not talking about a whole long line. I'm talking about maybe
Right,
there's
yeah.
2 or 3 cars, and nobody's going around. Nobody's getting in, and they could.
If I'm next in line, I would do that. If I know the person in front of me is waiting
Yeah.
for the inner line, I don't mind going around
Yeah,
them.
that's
But
what
if
I'm
there's 2 or
talking
3
about.
people, I'm not
Do
going
you
to
like
break
the inner
line.
line better?
I like the outer line better.
I'm
me
not
too.
talking about passing 15 cars and then going to the front. That's not what I'm talking about.
Oh, I will.
Yeah, don't do that.
Oh, yeah, I'll do
There's
that.
people in line just like me. They'll be steaming mad.
That's fine.
So
You should have thought of it before I did.
exactly right.
Now, you probably seen people driving 55 in the left-hand lane.
But it doesn't matter, and it doesn't matter what restaurant I'm at. If I'm at a drive-through window, the person in front of me, regardless, has 10 orders. I'm like, if you got
All
10
special-
orders, yeah, go
special
inside.
burgers and
go
everything.
inside. Oh my goodness.
Now, that does happen a lot, especially at lunchtime around here.
It does, 'cause-
I've been in Wendy's, and you'll see them. All right, on my first one I need, and they got like 10 different orders because they're picking up for everybody back at work is what they're doing, and I understand that.
Yeah, and I put it in park and throw a fit.
Do you really?
Yeah, no,
You just gonna throw a hissy right there?
no, I'm kidding.
You know,
Well, get out and go inside. Leave your car parked in the drive-thru.
I've done it
we
before.
got some people that go to these restaurants and deliver food for you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They charge you, but
Yeah,
they
it
bring
costs a
in.
lot of money.
Does it? I haven't used it, but I've seen them. I've seen them doing it.
Yeah.
Was it DoorDash or something?
Yeah, the Uber Eats, DoorDash, whatever.
Yeah, all that
things
stuff.
like that. Yeah, a lot of that goes on. A whole lot of that goes on around here.
Well, yeah, it does.
But anyway,
never done it.
on tipping, there's some good questions in here, and the national average tip is 18%.
Really?
18%.
18%. Oh, here comes somebody.
Well, this is
There.
one of the board of directors. Good morning. How are you?
Jeffro, what's going on there?
He's the chairman of the
Listen,
board.
have we gotten out of line this morning, brother?
No, this has been one of the most educational programs that y'all have ever put on.
Well, good.
I have thoroughly enjoyed it. I've learned a lot about bathroom etiquette.
Yes.
Now, y'all excuse me, I got to go lay a bomb.
Meeting adjourned. Oh, he hung up. He's
No,
going.
he was serious. He had to go.
Meeting
Turtle
adjourned.
head, that turtle head was poking out. He had to go.
We may never live this down.
We can get some shirts made.
my goodness.
We'll lay a bomb.
This room will self-destruct. Oh my goodness.
There ought to be some type of warning light that you can turn on. There ought to be inside. That might be a genius idea. Sort of like when you go to the doctor's office, they got these flags on the door that let you know if a patient's in there or not. There ought to be a light in there. You flip a light on and install it.
Well, listen, the porta potties have that.
Yeah, I mean,
It's-
exactly right.
It's occupied or it's vacant.
That's right. Exactly.
I want
right.
the woman afterwards that you don't need to come in here. It's rough. That's the sign I want. Guy before you had
mate.
tacos last night. You don't need to come in here.
Okay.
So anyway, there is
So
a
an average of 18%.
18%.
Now, who come up with that? Now, or is that just what everybody does?
18% was fine a year ago. But, food has gone up so much. I
Right.
mean, my goodness.
Well, like you
if you
said,
give a 20% tip now, you're giving way over $10. So, if I really am gracious to people who serve tables.
Yeah.
But if you got 4 or 5 tables, that's awesome.
Right.
In an hour's time, if you can serve 4 or 5 tables, you're doing wonderful.
Yeah.
And or I hope you are. So anyway,
Well,
and I'm going to continue to tip. So That's not a big deal.
and
Lord, you got a whole book on tipping.
I do. There was a whole lot of research on tipping. So there was a question here that you brought up, Jeff. What about we've probably all raised about those automated registers that ask for a tip, okay? We talked
Yes.
about that. Even when you haven't had any service, along with frustration, many people are feeling guilt when it comes to tipping. That's probably why nearly half of those we asked said that they've tipped or tipped more due to guilt. And so
Well, yeah.
here's what they had to say. And the question was asked, have you ever been guilted into tipping or tipping higher than you would ordinarily? 40% of people said, yes, I've been guilted into tipping and tipping more than what I would have.
Okay.
How do you do that? There's got to be a conversation that goes on or something that makes that happen.
Well, we've got to tie this all together.
To restrooms?
Yes. Yes. We've got to tie this all together. Have you ever been in a very, very fancy hotel where there is a bathroom attendant?
Absolutely, yes.
Do you tip the bathroom attendant?
I have never done that.
If you've never tipped the bathroom attendant,
All he
I
did was
haven't
hand
been-
me a towel. He didn't shine my shoes or nothing.
Well, some of them do.
Some of them do.
Yeah, they could, yeah. I've never been in one that had a shoe shine in the bathroom, though.
No, not that fancy.
Well,
So did
yeah.
you tip
Buc-ee's
your
didn't have it.
bathroom guy?
Well, yeah.
Oh, my
How much?
goodness.
How much you tipping? A 20?
Hey, good morning. You're on
You got a
WDXE
20
with us.
spot on there?
Ask Joe Harvey if we should tip at Quik Mart.
So the answer is no, but I probably need to put a jar up there. Because listen, if you ask,
What do we
he'll
need?
do it.
We need to put a jar up there with your face on it,
Yeah.
and contribute to your fund. How
Listen,
about that?
listen. I needed a fund because listen, what happened yesterday? I walked around with a hole in my britches all day yesterday,
What?
and nobody at work said, "Hey, you got a hole in your pants." But when I got to church, they did. The nice people at church said, "Hey, you got a hole in your pants." So I appreciate that. Yeah. So it's one of those things.
One of those things.
And then talking about tipping, what about like tipping bands and stuff? Y'all go places and there be people playing. Do y'all tip
I
bands?
have.
Okay.
I have.
Do you
Oh,
tip
yeah.
just
Or the
because it's
piano,
good?
or the piano
Oh,
Yes,
player.
yeah.
absolutely. I do that every time.
The piano player.
And they'll
or-
play
At
whatever
church?
song you ask.
But I've only been to a hotel like that maybe once or twice in my life.
Yeah.
That had that. There's one in Nashville that's near the Capitol where they
The
may
dueling piano
they
things?
They may still have a bathroom attendant there.
Yeah, I'm not
Oh,
sure.
a bathroom attendant.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't know.
talking about
Hadn't
playing-
been-
So I
don't-
think-
don't
I think
remember
the only
name of-
place I was
I don't
at
even remember
Palmer
the
House
name of the
Hilton.
hotel now, but anyway.
Chicago Palmer House Hilton used to have one, and they may still have them. So but that's the only hotel I've ever stayed at with it. But they did.
You ever
have
had
one.
your shoes shined
Well,
anywhere, like at the airport? or anything
Absolutely,
like-
yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. Hey, and those guys, I had them done in Chicago one time at this underground mall, and this guy was shining shoes, and well, he had a technique I'd never seen before. Even he was really good.
Yeah.
And he done it with his fingers.
Yeah.
And that and then when
With fingers?
yeah, he puts wax on with his fingers
Yeah.
and then polish
Yeah.
on with his finger.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean it was a
Well, then he was an absolute expert.
you can get all the cracks and crevices you put on your finger.
Well, yeah. I
Absolute
understand that.
expert. He was expert. Chattanooga Shoe Shine Boy. You remember that song?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a Glenn Miller song. They sing that when they come to town. Everybody's always hollering, "What do you want to hear?" And they said, "Chattanooga Shoe Shine Boy." So that tuxedo or whatever it is.
Tuxedo Junction.
Yeah. All right. So tipping fatigue is real. Have you guys ever had tipping fatigue? We only got like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Tipping fatigue. Just
Tipping-
tired of it.
Yeah, just tired of tipping. Tipping fatigue is real. More than half of those surveys said that too many places are asking for tips, while 48% report that they're downright tired of being asked to tip. Now, I don't know that I've ever been in a situation where I've been asked to tip. Now, maybe I take that back. I've been on some tour buses, and they'll say, "Hey, don't forget that your bus driver works for tips." And so that's, to me, that's sort of an asking for tip.
Yeah.
But I've never been in a situation where I've been at a restaurant and somebody asked for a tip.
Well, it's kind of, they may not ask for it, but if it's on the screen,
Right,
it's
yeah,
kind of
they kind of asking for it, yeah.
You know, if you're
Especially if
you're,
they're flipping it around and say, yeah, just fill out your tip there and sign it.
Yeah.
Hey, good morning. You're on WDXE with us.
Hey, here's my look at my view on tipping. It's kind of like sales. Those folks work on commission on performance. So I don't mind paying for service, and I don't mind paying for good service. I'll pay good for good service.
Yes.
But that's kind of my viewpoint.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree
if they
with
do
you.
a great job, and I
better
think
tip.
that's kind of gotten away from, the thought process, that it's just really expected now instead of getting something for your money.
I think
Instead
you're
of
right.
earned. Yeah.
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 So,
You need
that's
that.
just me.
The tips need to be earned, don't they, buddy?
Exactly.
All right. Thank you, man.
Yeah, that's
Yes, sir.
that's a good statement.
That's a good statement.
Yeah, absolutely. They need to be earned. I mean, but he's right. Most people just expect it, and you look down upon if you don't.
Right, yeah.
It's weird. So anyway, go out and eat lunch today and leave a tip.
I think they count on that.
So, how much do you tip a valet?
Usually it depends on what they're doing.
Oh, drop them $100 bill and go on, buddy. I'm just
I'm riding with you.
I'm just kidding.
So how much time do
No,
we
seriously, I
have?
ran into that. I've never had a tip of valet before.
$5-10 is a good valet
I
tip.
think I give them $10.
If it's raining, it's $10. If they're just going to pull it right on the next side of the driveway, it's $5. But if
All right, so he takes it. Do you tip him? And when he brings it back, do you tip him?
If
Yeah,
they
both
if
ways.
they washed
Both
and
ways?
vacuumed your car while they had it,
both ways.
Hey,
I'm just
man,
kidding.
good
Well, it's
tip
time
on
to
that.
go.
Hey,
the
we
quick
gotta get
mile
out of here.
hour has flown by.
We've got to get up and get out here and go do the real job, boys.
That's right. Even though the Quick Mart hours have flown by, don't fly by the Quick Mart. Come in and see us. Get some coffee
Ooh,
and
look
some
at you
biscuits
go.
and some drinks.
Look
Hey,
at
we'll
you
be
go.
looking forward to seeing you guys in a week.
All right.
Threats China is posing. Now, the Japanese prime minister is also about to meet with House and Senate leaders of both parties. Next hour, Fumio Kishida will address a joint